Okay, this is the second video that covers how to do completing a square, and I'm going to start off with the problem that I was in the middle of in the first video. And that was this problem here. And what we had just done was we used the procedure to find out what I need to have the third term be by taking the coefficient of the middle term, and that's negative 12, divided by 2 and square it. And that's kind of where we're at. This is going to be negative 6 squared, or 36, okay? That's the number that I need this constant to be, but it's not, it's plus 5. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is insert 36 in here, and I'm going to go ahead and take this 5 and just kind of stick it over on the other side, which really means I'm subtracting 5 from both sides. So let me rewrite this so that I'm adding 36, and on the other side I should have the negative 5, and I'm also going to add 36, and that's because I add 36 here, so I have to add 36 on the right also. All right, now I can factor this trinomial into x minus 6 squared and equals, and over here this is going to turn into 31 when I simplify it. And I can go ahead now and take the square root of both sides to solve it. And what I have now is the square root of x minus 6 squared, which is x minus 6, equals plus or minus the square root of 31. And what I'm going to do now is add 6 to both sides, which means I will have 6 plus or minus the square root of 31. So what I've done is I've solved by completing the square. Okay, just keep in mind, you've got to remember, if you do add this third term on the left, you have to add it to the right. Let's try it now in a case where we're going to end up with a complex solution, something that involves the imaginary number I. All right, so I want my third term to be half of the middle term's coefficient squared. Well, that's going to be negative 8 divided by 2 is negative 4, and negative 4 squared is 16. So what I need to have this be is a 16. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is change this around a little bit, so I have x squared minus 8x plus 16 equals negative 36, which comes from here, being subtracted from both sides. And I'm also going to go ahead and add 16 to compensate for the fact that I added 16 on the left. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and factor this perfect square trinomial into x minus 4 squared equals, if I simplify this, I'm going to get negative 20. Okay, so now I can go ahead and take the square root of both sides, and I'm going to end up with x minus 4 equals, well, I've got the square root of a negative number, so I'm going to pull out the I. I've got the square root of 20, which I'm going to turn into the square root of 4 times the square root of 5. And of course I can simplify the square root of 4 because that is 2. And then I end up with 2i times the square root of 5. All right. What I'm going to do is, here I've got x minus 4 equals 2i times the square root of 5. I'm going to move up here and do a little more work here. X minus 4 equals 2i times the square root of 5. I'm sorry, there should be a little plus or minus there. I am going to go ahead and add 4 to both sides, so I can isolate x, and I end up with x equals 4 plus or minus 2i times the square root of 5. All right, now I think I have time to do one more of those, and it may end up, I might end up having this video end or terminate in the middle, but that's okay. Let's see how far we can get. I need to find out what the third term would need to be, so I'm going to take my 6, cut it in half, and square it. Well, 6 divided by 2 is 3. 3 squared is 9. So I need to add a plus 9 here and a plus 9 there. So let me rewrite that. 2x squared plus 6x plus 9 equals negative 25. Okay, I can go ahead and factor this perfect square trinomial into x plus 3 squared equals negative 25.